Is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Good morning and welcome in to Mornings on Main Street on December 20th, 2021. Our band seems a little muffled this morning, so they must have had a long weekend. Anyway, welcome in to what I think is the best show on planet Earth. We'll get you off with some good positive news for this week. It is 5 days before Christmas. And as I've told everybody, it's okay if you haven't done your Christmas shopping because Walgreens is open on Christmas Eve. So my kids better get ready for some nice gift cards coming their way. So it should be a lot of fun. Anyway, welcome in. We have a good show for today, a fun show for today. We'll talk about the Titans and their loss, but there's still things are pretty good for the football team. They got a game on Thursday night as the 49ers roll into town. 49ers are playing really good too. So that should be a lot of fun. And then we'll talk to our friend Jason Goolseby as well. We'll recap Santa Paws-adopt-athon this weekend. I'm wearing the Middle Tennessee Boxer Rescue sweatshirt, which is really nice. We had a great time. A lot of adoptions, raised thousands of dollars for charities. Such a good time. So I look forward to doing it next year. And, man, seeing so many pretty faces, and I'm talking about the puppy dogs. We've got 11 of them had homes, got adopted out on Saturday. And we want to make sure with this, people just didn't show up and say, I want that dog, I'm taking it, and I'm gone. There was a vetting process for every single dog that came in there. In fact, 3 of the dogs will not be adopted until next week because there's still more vetting process that's going on. So they didn't walk in there, put down $40 and walk out with the dog like you get outside, a Walmart or something. These shelters know their business, what they're doing, and taking care of these dogs is the utmost priority for them. So it was really good. Had a good time there. Oh, let's bring in the intern if we can this morning. That's the wrong one, intern.
Sorry about that.
That's our guest at 710, who I'm so happy to have on the show. Kelly Culbreth has written books, children's books, which are fantastic. And she's got a new one that came out. And when we started the show, she's on the list. We wrote down about 20 names. She's one of the names we wrote down to get on the show. She'll be with us a little bit. Intern, that's okay, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing today?
Looks like there's a portal behind your right shoulder you might escape through.
I know they allowed me a window in the basement, so that's actually the sun.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
So it's not some portal that'll transport you, say, to, I don't know, Chattanooga or somewhere?
Correct. Yeah. No, it would never do that.
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, man, not bad. It was tough watching the Titans game, but other than that, yeah, pretty solid weekend.
Why was it tough watching the Titans game?
Because it was just not a good performance by the boys. I don't believe, don't you think?
Well, will it ruin your day?
Yeah, absolutely.
It will?
Yeah.
You know what makes your day a lot better, though, is this. Hey, the front page of today's e-edition of Main Street Nashville. Like that? Intern, have you ever been on the General Jackson?
I have actually, yes, I have. I used to go with my dad and my family whenever we went to go watch the Titans games.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. Let's see, my screen's a little frozen here. I'm gonna refresh.
So you don't see the General Jackson picture there that Larry McCormick, the great photographer, took right there?
No, so my screen is frozen. I'm going to have to refresh really fast.
Go to that portal and then get a new screen and come back out. All right, some of these headlines we'll get for you while the intern's refreshing his screen, whatever that means. Ashley Perham with the story. Starting in February, many Metro police officers will now work 4 10.5-hour shifts instead of the 5 8.5-hour shifts they're working now. Give them an extra day off. I love this. We should always have a 4-day work week, but don't add more hours to what we're doing. So again, Metro Police will move to 4-day work weeks next year, most of them. To do that. God bless our men and women in the blue. We will always support you on this show. This came out this weekend, and this is just terrible. I mean, it was the death of Whiskey Row, 7 indicted in connection with the Whiskey Row death. Police were looking for men. They had the videotape for a while, so they had the suspects that turned himself in. Just a terrible story, just a really terrible story. And you can read more about it there today. The edition of the Main Street Nashville. As again, we always spread the positivity on the show as much as we can. I love this. Murfreesboro's John Jake Verge rings in his 35th Salvation Army season. Look at that fine-looking man right there who puts others above himself. This is a really cool article by Taylor, just more than why are you doing this? Gets into everything else with this young man and what he's doing. 35 years. And it's also got some information about some of the Salvation Army registration form if you want to help out. All right, that's what I like about these stories. Not only are there stories, but they advance it to the next level, something we never did in television. And here you can, with what you can get involved in, who you need to call, shifts available for things like this. So it's really cool with that. Another story, which, well, this will make some of my friends happy. Mount Juliet will allow more liquor stores. I did not know this, all right? Xavier Smith with a great story. Mount Juliet allows 1 liquor store per every 8,000 residents with a maximum of 3 stores and no store located within 3 miles of another store. Why can that not apply to Subway? There is a Subway on every block. In fact, if you drive from Key Largo to Key West, there's a stretch of islands. It's probably, 200 yards. There's a Subway. And then the next key, there's another Subway. Subways are everywhere. Let's treat those like liquor stores. I'm kidding. So I got this reading this story, and I read the headlines, and I read the first paragraph. And this story by Roger Fregoso is amazing. Father's heartbreaking memory, let me get them out there, inspires woman to help homeless community. And she lives in Donaldson, and I told you Donaldson's God's country. And it's this lady, Ellie Anderson. Her father was a wealthy Harvard-educated man, but became homeless due to alcoholism. And read the article, successful. So his daughter has this mission to help out those that are homeless and with clothes and everything else. I implore you to read this story today if you can. If you read one story today, read this story here about this lady who does not want sympathy but wants to help others. And I got to tell you what, reading this story at 6 o'clock this morning, you're full of emotion and just powerful how this one lady is taking such a bad thing happened to her life and made it so positive. So that's a great story there today. There's Fauci. We'll scroll past him. The banner, 65 years ago today, national banner, read the front page and see all that's going on in there. And to the right of that, you can see kind of a recap what's happening in the paper and all the good stuff there. All right, we talked about the Tennessee Titans. So Terry McCormick is going to join us at 7:20 this morning and recap the Titans' loss. But, we talk about the Titans losing. There you go. But, it's not all bad. They're still in first place. But they've got to get it together. They're now 9-5. They got to get it together. There's a FOMO. We'll talk to Terry about that fourth quarter, 4th down play, which was just bizarre because he was like a yard and a half away from the first down, but the referee marked him within inches of getting the first down. Complete chaos at the end of the game. And we'll talk to Terry about that as well. Your Nashville Predators have been sidelined now because of the COVID protocols. They will not be back for a while. You see Preds get shut down past Christmas, and a lot of the league has been shut down past Christmas too. So the Preds will come back after Christmas and play, and they're still – that's NBA, I don't see that. They're still in second place, I think it might have been. Had they fallen to third? They're second, tied for second, 1 point out of first place in the Western Conference. So that's really cool. Okay, intern, we're going to scroll down to what is quickly becoming a fun part of our morning show, and that is the comic strip tease. Intern, you still there? Your screen still froze.
I know, we are back. We are back and better than ever.
Okay, we go through all the cartoons. Today we're reading Blondie. And, Blondie, he's either at a bar getting yelled at by his wife or he's at the Waffle House. So today he's at the Waffle House. Now, playing the role of Blondie will be the intern. Playing the role of the cooks, plural, will be yours truly. Okay, intern, you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, scene.
Hey, why does it cost an extra $1 for the Yule Nuke chili?
Let me get the cook out here. Chili roasting on an open fire. It's $1 entertainment fee.
I love Christmas music. Give me 2 bowls.
Oh, the guy that wrote this, again.
You got a line.
Again, it's at 7:10. All right, we got to hurry up because we told our boss our show doesn't start till 7:10. We got to get off this. Mort Walker, I guess, I guess who it is. Maybe it's somebody else now. Maybe Mort passed away. It's when you read, think about that. When you write, I know comedy's rough, right? I know comedy's hard to write. But when you do that, you just sit there like, that's not funny. I'm going to send it. I don't know what the process of all that is. It's terrible. Intern, you got the portals getting bigger there, man. All right, let's get a break. We're having too much fun on a Monday morning. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back with Kelly Culbreth, who's written 2 children's books that you need to know about, which are fantastic. And the title is going to hook you in. We'll tell you about that next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
And they've got an e-reader, which is just, for people like me, I have grown up with a newspaper holding it in my hand. I really like that experience. But the e-reader or the press reader that Main Street has, you get to see a front page. You get to see the business stocks. You get to see all of that. But if you see a photo and it's got a little icon on the bottom, when you see that icon, that means there's a gallery there.
I love writing and journalism just on its own, and I think I learned that during the pandemic because I was covering all kinds of non-sports related things and still having fun with it, still finding out a lot of great stories. But when you can combine something I'm already interested in, have a lot of knowledge about in sports, I feel like I'm really able to combine 2 of my passions at the same time, and that's really rewarding for me.
Back in the Mornings on Main Street. Well done, man. All right. You guys sound like you're in a tunnel today. That's okay. It's Christmas season. I understand what's happening. All right, let's welcome in my good friend Kelly Culbreth today with everything that's going on in the world. She makes the world a better place. Good morning, Kelly.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, I'm so excited you're on the show. I haven't seen you since we did the Today show together, Today in Nashville, a few years ago.
I know. That was so fun. That was when my first book came out.
And the first name of your first book was, or is?
Everything on the Farm Poops.
Which was a great success. And you had to be so proud of that.
Thank you. Thank you. It was just a fun little introduction into the fact that poop actually has a purpose on the farm, because without it, our garden and crops won't grow.
We all know that, but when you wrote the book and start telling people that, I gotta think people are like, oh yeah, really? They probably were perplexed by all that, I guess.
Well, I use my family as inspiration. So I'm a city girl, but my sister married a farmer and her kids are farmers and their kids are farmers. And so when I go back to visit the farm, I was always making comments about how much poop there was everywhere. So it kind of it became a kind of a family joke. And I kept saying that would make a great title for a book. Someone should write a children's book called Everything on the Farm Poops. And after years, I thought nobody's going to write that book but me. So I just made it happen. And I poked fun at my family. So there's like jokes in here, poking fun at my family and my nieces and nephews and my sister. And it just turned out to be a cute, fun read for the family. And
we're going to put the screen, put the information on the screen right now. It came out 2.5 years ago. I read it. It is truly funny. And it's also informational because we all laugh at this and the kids laugh at it too. And so some people don't want to laugh, but I think it really opened the eyes of kids and parents. Just like, you know what, let's read this and laugh about it.
Yes. And kids love poop anyway. So we might as well teach them the positive things about poop because it's kind of gross and, so let's laugh at it for its good purposes.
Right, and I love the illustrations. And we're going to talk about your second book in just a second, though. But your illustrations in your first book, they were fantastic, Kelly. So kudos to whoever did those. That was so good.
Oh, Dan Tran, he's in Vietnam. I found him on the internet. I looked for illustrators all over the world, really. I just wanted someone that had that fun, bright, colorful, quirky style that I thought would go great with the material. And I loved his work. He was perfect.
And there it is, everything on the poops, everything on the farm poops. And I laugh at it because when you came on the show when we did the Today Show, we all couldn't stop laughing. And that's the point of all this. We literally laughed before the segment, during the segment, after the segment, walking you out, we laughed. It was just so good. Is that the kind of reaction you hope to get from that first book?
I always love that reaction. I wrote the book laughing while I was writing, and I envisioned parents and their children laughing. And so I didn't want to take anything too seriously. I just wanted it to be fun.
And then, so we now have book number 2, Poop on the Potato Farm.
Yes.
All right. How did we come to this book? How were you able to build off the first book into this book?
All right. So this book is actually more informative. My niece married an Idaho potato farmer. And when they were home visiting one year, he was talking about how he started a secondary business on the side as a poop spreader. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd already written my first book. I was like, that's a book that's just begging to be written. You're a poop spreader. So
is he a politician?
No.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
They're closely related. No. Now no politician will buy my book.
All right. So he's a poop spreader. And then you were just amazed?
Yeah. So I started asking questions, and it turned out it's quite a process, the way they get the manure from the dairy farm and how they turn it into compost and how they deliver it to the potato farm, and how people like Farmer Philip in my book, who spreads poop all over the farmers' fields in the local county so that next year's potato crops will grow.
It's again, you're a city girl, I'm a city boy, and we kind of know about the process, but to see that in the illustrations and it's so well written, Kelly. I mean, this is a win-win for so many people.
Thank you. The second book, I really, really love how the second book turned out. I learned a lot from the first. I talk about the first book was like going to college, and then I took all the knowledge that I learned from that process and I tried to improve upon the process with my second book, on writing the story, on how I illustrated, even down to, how I'm going to market the book and the direction that I'm going to take for my third and fourth and future books, because I have so many ideas. I don't know that I could ever write them in my lifetime, but I truly enjoy the whole process of writing the books. I did a book reading with some third graders a few days ago, and it lit up my spirit. It was so much fun that I can't wait to do it again. And it just reminded me why writing these books is so much fun, is because seeing the kids laugh at the story and some of the jokes that were in the book. I mean, that can really light up your spirit. So I just love everything about it.
That brings a point I didn't even think about it. So if somebody calls up and says, "Hey, I have a kindergarten class in Nashville," would you go read to them?
I would. Yes. My goal in the next year is to reduce my work schedule so that I can make time for fun things like that. So I'm going to start adding 1 or 2 days a month where I do fun things with my book. And so we'll see where that journey takes me.
What's the best way for somebody to, if people out there watching, they can contact me, I can get them with you. What's the best way to contact you?
Well, you can also go on Facebook. You can find me there. And Stinky Books by Kelly Lee is the Facebook page for my books. You can contact me probably on Facebook would be the best way. Kelly Lee Culbreth or Stinky Books by Kelly Lee. And then this, if you put a Google search in, everything poops on the farm. Bingo, there you go. I'm sure there's not a lot of searches for other things. And then your book popped up. If you put poop and potato in the search on Amazon, my book is the only thing that will come up. So. Oh my gosh! Oh, you're the best. All right, we'll continue promoting you, getting the good word out about you in the books and everything. Thank you so much. I think the world of you. I really appreciate you coming on. I adore you too, Joe. So thank you for having me. All right, have a good day, Kelly. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. All right, Kelly Lee Culbreth, and there's the books that she's written. And I'm fascinated by people who have written books because we talk about it. I've talked about it for 20 years. And you just never make that next step. And the people that have done it to the next step, she talked about the marketing, the illustration, the writing, the ideas, and put it all together. She did it. And that's a tribute to her right there. That's so wonderful. So wonderful. All right, coming up next, we'll talk to Terry McCormick from Titan Insider. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about with Terry. That's coming up next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street. All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. What's the band doing? They on a coffee break? Come on, guys. I just need you from 7 to 8. That's it. All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Let's bring in our good friend Terry McCormick from Titan Insider with more on the Tennessee Titans. Terry, good to see you, my man.
Yeah, Joe, thanks. I get to follow the lady that was talking about poop, so we're going to talk about some more crap.
That was right into your wheelhouse, Terry. Congratulations. Terry, you have probably 40 things you could write about the next 3 days on the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, when you look at this team, we thought this team was a shoe-in to get one of the top seeds, and now they've got the Indianapolis Colts charging right on their heels, only one game back, and the Titans have a tough game with the San Francisco 49ers coming up Thursday. Now, they still hold the tiebreak on the Colts, but this offense right now is really struggling. And I made the comparison on Twitter last night, that not all of this is on Ryan Tannehill. Now, obviously, it's attached to him because he's the quarterback and he's the guy letting go of the football and all those things. But if you watched the game last night between the Bucs and the Saints, you saw what happened to Tom Brady when he lost Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette. He didn't have Antonio Brown available. When your quarterback doesn't have weapons, unless he's Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, chances are he's not going to play very well.
That's a great point. You know, it's funny. Titans fans this on Twitter are just, sometimes it's insanity, because they were like, get rid of Tannehill. And just like you talked about, yeah, when Brady does it last night, he's a warrior. He's fighting through that. But Tannehill's lost probably twice as many people as Tom Brady has. And you're right, because he's a quarterback, he gets a lot of the blame in there. But I mean, the guy stands in there and takes hits and doesn't complain and does his job. I got no problem with Ryan Tannehill.
No, I mean, you wish that the numbers would look better. You wish that the turnovers would, be diminished. But this is an offense that right now the turnovers are really the only thing that's holding them back, other than the fact that with the receiving core, there's a lot of difference in throwing to A.J. Brown and, with all due respect, throwing to Nick Westbrook-Akina, Cody Hollister, and Chester Rogers, because those guys just are not the dynamic players that A.J. Brown is. And then when you look at the other situation with Julio Jones, I mean, he's gotten to be like an MG midget, Joe. You remember those cars from back in the 60s and 70s? How they looked great when they were on the road, and people would always say, wow, that's an awesome looking car. But they spent more time in the shop than they did on the road.
Oh, that's the best analogy. Yeah, we got the website up now, TitanInsider.com. No fluff, great articles, great stories. What's going on? Yeah, that's the thing about Julio Jones. Titans fans are like, we got to get Jadeveon Clowney. He was a disaster. We got to get Julio Jones. He was a disaster. Titans fans need to stay off the free agent market and not try to figure out who they want to get, because so far these guys have been a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, just unable to stay healthy. And, now that's not to say that they haven't made some good moves. Zach Cunningham, they picked him up off waivers last week. He started yesterday, played pretty well. This guy, Buster Screen, that they brought in off the street, has played really well at defensive back. Deontay Foreman's done a good job for them coming in after Derrick Henry was hurt. So, I mean, some of the lesser-known guys that they've had to bring in this year have really played well, given the circumstances. And then some of the guys that they really counted on to be out there and give them something, like a Julio Jones, like a Bud Dupree, those guys just haven't been able to stay healthy.
Who takes the blame for yesterday's loss? I mean, what was the one thing that gave them this loss?
Well, I think they lost the game in the first half, if you want my honest opinion, because they had the ball twice in the red zone, settled for chip shot field goals. That made it 13-3. If you score a touchdown on either one of those, you're probably winning the ball game, because the Steelers are not built to come back and rally, in my opinion. But when you turn the ball over like they did in the second half, of course, you're giving them a short field. You're giving them opportunities. The defense played fantastic yesterday, because every time the ball was turned over, they held Pittsburgh to a field goal pretty much in the second half. It was amazing. Even in the first half with the Ferkser fumble, they held them to a field goal there. So I think the offense has got to take care of the football, and they've got to cash in when they get in the red zone. They can't settle for 3 points, because that came back to bite them late in the game when they were turning the ball over and they were not able to survive it.
Titans get out of the game pretty healthy yesterday, or do they have any more besides the normal, bumps and nicks and everything else?
Well, obviously Julio is a question mark, and that's the big one. So I think the thing that people should be watching for this week is A.J. Brown coming back. I would expect that he would be close to maybe being able to play against the 49ers, and they need him badly. He's been out on the practice field, before practice, and, working out, running. You've been seeing him catch some passes from coaches and whatnot, a little bit of that. And he's a guy that they really need to get back, because this offense doesn't function right without him.
You look at the next two games, you got the 49ers, who are a really good football team and play really good on the road. And then you have to take on the hottest team in I never thought I'd say this, the hottest team in the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins. So these are two crucial big games.
Oh, absolutely they are. It's much like the Steelers game. It was kind of do or die for the Steelers. It's going to be do or die with the 49ers and do or die with the Dolphins, because those teams are right there in the hunt for wild card spots. And they can't afford very many losses down the stretch. So the Titans are probably going to get the best shot from both of those teams.
It's going to be interesting, Terry, because now they're 9-5, lost 3 of their last 4. Still, I mean, again, people hate this. You put this up there, but if you just said, look, all right, we got 3 games left. You're now 9-5. You're in first place in the AFC South. Everybody would be like, absolutely, we'll take that.
Yeah, sign me up all day is what they would be saying. But it's how you get there sometimes, and not where you are, I guess, in terms of what the Titans are doing. Because 9-5 looks good until you say, well, 3 weeks or a month ago they were 8-2.
Yeah, you're right. Before we let you go, Thursday night games in this situation, you always think it benefits the home team. San Francisco's got to travel across the country and play. So the Titans should be good to go. If this game was on the road, I'd be worried. But they're at home, and that fits right into the Titans' mantra. They can just kind of ground and pound on Thursday night. But this 49ers team, Terry, I mean, they've gone on the road and played really well this year.
Yeah, they won at Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was. So they're coming back to the same general vicinity, the central time zone, to play the Titans on Thursday night, a short week. It'll be tough on them, but the crazy thing is I think the 49ers actually opened up as a slight favorite in this ball game.
Ooh, yikes. All right, well, Thursday's the game, national TV, the Titans get on there. We were talking about the Derrick Henry thing. Some rumblings yesterday about he might make it back. Do you know anything the latest on him?
Haven't heard any more. They're not really saying much. And anybody that tells you otherwise is really speculating. This report that came out from Ian Rappaport last week, saying that Derrick Henry might be back for the last. Well, that's what they've been saying all along.
Right.
Everybody's been speculating all along, but there's no timetable on it, for Derrick Henry to return. If he makes it back by the playoffs, that would be about the timetable that's normal in recovering from this injury. And, but now I guess because Ian Rappaport said it, people are treating it like the Apostle Paul said it. So, so it's a little bit, so I guess they think it carries a little bit more weight, but it's really the same thing that it's been. They don't know exactly when Derrick Henry's going to be able to play. They're hopeful they can get him back for the playoffs, but it's not a guarantee. You're
on with George Plaster this afternoon, right?
I am.
Will you drop that Apostle Paul line again?
I might do that.
Terry McCormick, Titan Insider. Read it at TitanInsider.com. Terry, thank you. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
All right. That's Terry McCormick again. Titans are now 9-5, 3 games left. The 49ers on Thursday. The Dolphins come after that, and they finish up against the Houston Texans. So if the Titans can win out, they win the AFC South, that guarantees them a first-round playoff game at home, in which the playoffs, anything else could happen. Hey, before we go real quick, congratulations to Coach Rick Stockstone, MTSU, that won the Bahamas Bowl last Friday. After we got off the show, we went and watched the game. Congrats to them. That was the first bowl game of the season. So MTSU won the Bahamas Bowl, and well done by them. So congratulations to Coach Stockstill and his Blue Raider football team. Okay, we come back. We had a great weekend with our Santa Paws-adopt-athon. We wrap it up in a nice little bow for you, talk to some of the shelters, and such a great time we had. And thank you all for showed up. Hundreds showed up on Saturday at Tremont Mansion in Hermitage for this. We'll show you and talk more about that on the other side. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Dairyberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit dairyberryac.com today and schedule a visit. Dairyberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Coming up at 7:40-ish, America's favorite neighbor, Jason Gooseby, will join us as he does every Monday at this time to talk a lot of things going on in Wilson County and Middle Tennessee where the dirt's being moved. It's always fun to have him on here as well every Monday. This is December 20th, 2021, 5 days out from Christmas. I hope you got your Christmas shopping done. If not, again, as I told you, and the intern knows this well, Walgreens has got everything you need. Gift cards galore. They make the perfect gift for anybody that's going on. All right, this past weekend, we had the 2021 Santa Paws-adopt-athon at Tremont Mansion in Hermitage. This was the brainchild, kind of the genesis of our good friend Hunter Briley from Regal Realty Group, who sponsors our Pet of the Week. He called me up one day back in mid-October and says, hey, let's take this to the next level. Let's bring all these shelters together that you visit, get to know them, celebrate them, get some adoptions going on, raise some money and some awareness. And so last Saturday, we had the Santa Paws-adopt-athon from noon to 4. So many of you guys showed up, got to talk to so many of y'all and see the faces and put names to faces. It was a great time. So here's the story that kind of wrapped up what we had from last Saturday. And we start off with Hunter Briley.
First one's almost in the books. Thoughts?
Man, could not have gone better than I could have ever imagined. We've got, at the moment right now, we've got 9 dogs adopted, and I think we have a couple more on deck right now, Joe. So, first one in the books. We had a great turnout. Over 300 people so far have come through the door. So thank you, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and surrounding areas for showing up for the inaugural 2021 Santa Paws-adopt-athon. You guys made this thing possible. Thank you to our partners at Main Street Media and Tito's Vodka as well. Catch 22 for showing up with the food. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. And of course, we can't forget Tremont and the owners there who had us a wonderful venue to be able to do this at. We had great weather up until the very last minute, but we're indoors and everybody's happy, so we're good, and we're still adopting puppies.
One of the cool indirect things was the networking.
Absolutely.
To see other shelters, to figure out what's working, what's not working, because you don't get that opportunity a lot, do you?
No, not especially not our whole volunteer team. Often, like, I might get to meet somebody at another shelter, but our volunteers don't always get that opportunity. So this has been really great because we've gotten to talk with, a Great Dane rescue and a rescue in Cheatham County, old friends, and everybody has heard of each other, but actually seeing and talking to each other, I think is always a benefit.
This is Heather with Lucky Farms. We're out here at Santa Paws-adopt-athon. This is Phoebe, 3-year-old Great Dane, looking for a family of her own.
What's this been like for you today? To see everybody, other shelters, people know about you?
Fabulous. It's great to network with everybody. We've handed cards out to other shelters so that when they have a big giant breed come in, they know to call us.
Is it good networking to see the other shelters, like what's working, what's not working, and kind of meet people?
Oh, absolutely. We were discussing T-shirts with one of the other shelters over here and how they do their T-shirt orders.
What did you hope to get out of today?
We just want everyone to come out and fall in love with these giant breed dogs.
Pretty simple, huh?
Yes, absolutely. They're wonderful.
And the thing about adopting a giant breed dog, you just don't walk in, adopt and take off. And there's a nice vetting process that people got to go through, right?
Yes, absolutely. Everyone thinks a big dog is cool, but with a big dog comes big vet bills, big food bills. So we just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
Yeah, so the biggest thing this does for Metro Animal Care and Control is that it helps us bring awareness to all the programs we have at the shelter. So we don't just do adoptions. We have our whole foster program. We have our Bow Wow Breakout program. We also work very closely with rescues, so this helps us kind of mingle with them as well. And then we have obviously our safety net program where we help provide resources to the public to help them keep their pets.
You guys had a little success today here.
We did. So far, one adoption and definitely a lot of interest, and we've been able to pass out so much of our pamphlets and flyers, and people are saying they're going to stop by the shelter soon.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah,
that's
it's very, very good.
Also, as well, let's go back to the networking part of this, a chance to see other shelters, what might be working, not working, in a face-to-face where it's not an email,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to talk to somebody one-on-one and in person and put a face to the name. But yeah, it's great to talk and say, hey, what have been your challenges this year? What have you guys been facing? Or what has been the roadblock for you to get some of these pets adopted? And it's great to kind of share information, share some tactics, and then also, more importantly, just create those connections and those bonds with other rescues.
Hi, I'm Melody Thomas. I'm with Cheatham County Animal Control.
What does it mean to be here today?
We're very excited to get this opportunity to come over here and get a little foot traffic for our dogs. We're off the beaten path, so we don't always get the people to come in and drop by to adopt.
What was it like today to see dogs get adopted, people find out about you? That had to be a wonderful feeling.
It was very much a wonderful feeling. It was great to meet some of the people from the other shelters as well. We were really excited. We made a last-minute decision to bring a dog because he can be a little bit loud, and we didn't know how he would do here. And he was the very first dog adopted today, so we were really pleased and happy with that.
Is it good to talk to other shelters? Because normally you don't get to see them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have a few contacts in the shelter community, like Old Friends. We have several of our dogs that go to Old Friends Senior Dog Sanctuary, so we know a few of those people and some others around just from being in the rescue and the shelter community. And but it was good to see people in person.
Fantastic. Thank you, everybody who showed up again. Real quick about Cheatham County Animal Control. She talked about they were thinking about maybe not bringing a couple of dogs that were unsure. There's a lot that's going on there. And, for these puppy dogs that have been in the kennels for a while and all these people, it's a whole new environment for them. So they brought one. They brought a big hound dog named Jethro. He was adopted within 15 minutes of the thing. And we got so excited that when Jethro left, after they did the vetting process, everything, about 45 minutes later, Jethro left. I wish I had this on tape. Jethro left the Tremont Mansion where we had the thing that was going on indoors. The entire place, there's probably 100 people in there clapping and cheering. And Jethro's walking out and he starts barking like, thank you. It was so, for people that were there will tell you, it was really, really cool to see Jethro do that. So well done. We'll keep pounding the pavement, man, finding these puppy dogs homes until one day we don't have shelters, which is the wish for all of us. Maybe, hopefully, one day. All right, we'll take a break, come back with our good friend Jason Goolsebee. It's always fun to talk to him. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey. I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
Well done. Give me 1 second. Hey, I thought we said we're not going to play that song again. Can we work on that? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry you guys had to see that. Didn't want to be that mean. All right. Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Let's bring in our good friend now, Jason Goolsebee. There he is there. Getting his spark on this morning, are you?
Hey, those musicians, they must be union musicians. They don't listen.
They don't. Hey, at 8:01, they're gone. And I can't touch their stuff either, man.
Hey,
Ridiculous.
speaking of that, what's the guitar behind you? I've been meaning to ask. Do you play?
I do play.
Okay. What is that behind you?
It's a guitar.
Yeah. Like what kind of guitar?
It is a Fender Caster Stratus 2.5.
It's pretty.
My neighbor actually gave me that guitar. He's a country singer. His name's Tim Duggar. He's really good. Just played the Opry a few weeks ago. Heard me in the garage playing and brought a guitar over and said, "Hey, I got a lot of guitars. I hear you're starting out," and then gave it to me. And he is a fantastic guitar player. He's from Alabama. He does all the NASCAR thing. He's got a sold out event coming up in Bristol on New Year's Eve. But he brought it over and gave me the guitar. And so that's just the story, real quick, of people like, "Oh, I want to do this one day. I want to play guitar." Well, why don't you? Well, I don't find the time. Find the time, right? So I sat on my couch. I Googled easiest on YouTube. What's the easiest song with 2 chords? Horse with No Name by America. And you play it. I mean, and I learned how to play it that night, and then I took off from there. So I'm not good, but I know how to play a little bit.
I play.
Didn't ask. But.
Yep. So guitar people are. It's funny about your buddy. Guitar people are. I don't know what it is with guys. We have more stuff than what we need, but guitar people are just. They have bunches of them. I only have 3. So anyway.
I saw you comment on Tony Arata's Facebook page a few weeks ago about he wrote the song "The Dance."
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote underneath you, it was like, "Hey, Jason, leave Tony alone."
I didn't see it. Oh my gosh, I didn't see.
I'm sorry about that, man.
It's, I'm getting to the point now where I'm used to these internet trolls. You know how it is. I just kind of just tune them out. But
yeah, but I told you, a real estate friend of mine, his 2 kids love you. I mean, anything you put on the internet, they go and find immediately, and so excited that you're part of this show and they're watching right now. So I think it's great, man. You've carved out a little niche for yourself. I don't know what it is, but you've done a good job.
It's the ravishing good looks. It's man. It's this. It's beautiful, right? Thank God.
It is.
Bruce Willis. Thank you, Bruce Willis, for making this popular.
All right. Busy week before Christmas or no?
It actually is. I wrote up an offer last night, and I feel good that it's going to get accepted. So, went yesterday after church. Had a guy call me and said, "Can we go look at this property?" And I said, "Yes." And it was $250,000 in Wilson County. And I called the listing agent last night and said, "Man, what you got working on this?" And he said, "Well, it's only you and one other person." Went and looked at it today to come back on the market. And a lot of people take off, man. And I am going to take off later to the week, but that's one of the things, Joe, I mean, when you're kind of in business for yourself, and you got to be self-motivated, and you got to be there, and if you call me and say, "I want to go look at this," unless it's Sunday morning before 12 p.m. because that's when we go to church, or I'm, a birthday party or something with my family, we'll go, so it is pretty busy.
Look, I read a story earlier about Mount Juliet. I know you're all things Wilson County, about adding more liquor stores, and there's that edict where they can't be so close to each other. When you do things like this and the word gets out there, you added more liquor stores, not to say a liquor store, but business as well. I just got to think, that shows the growth and everything that goes on in the community in Wilson County. I don't think it's going to stop, Jason. I don't think it's going to stop for a long time.
I don't know if you and I talked about this specifically, but back in the old days and before civilizations and in modern agriculture, people followed the herd, right? You followed the herd and you went around and you killed the woolly mammoth and you ate, and that's what you did to survive. Well, nowadays, the modern day herd are jobs. And because that's what we have to have money to buy food. So, and we're just really ripe with jobs right here, and have been for a long time. And you can say, well, the whole country's doing that right now. Well, I mean, we've been in this phase, Joe, for how many years now? I mean, really, with 840 opening up, and we have so many logistical jobs in Wilson County because of our close proximity to all the interstates. I mean, you can be in California in 18 hours or 20 hours, depending on, So, I mean, those jobs, Wilson County, our leadership has done a really good job over the years. People that have already out of power now, they've done a good job creating jobs and being business friendly. So
How much different will this a year from now look than what we're seeing today? I mean, I know, like I said, we talked, it's not going to stop growing and everything, and more businesses coming here. I mean, any rumblings of big projects or big things that are coming down the pike? Because there always is.
Right. There are. You kind of put me on the spot there, Joe.
But overall, I'm just saying. I mean, there is. We look now. I mean, a year from now, things get grown. I mean, the Facebook plant that's being built up in Gallatin that's going on up there, which is going to be massive, and other things. The build out. You know, we've talked about this before. The Speedway. If you're going on 840, haven't been down there a while. I mean, both sides of 840 are just packed with new businesses. I mean, the Home Depot's got a deep center there. Then what Amazon's doing. I mean, it's not going to stop.
Yeah, there's especially out there on 840, and there's still so much. I know to us that live here, you're just like everything is going to be full before long. There's still lots of lots of land out there to be developed. There's even some tracts of land within Davidson County that haven't been developed yet. So yeah, here in Wilson County, we still have plenty of growing to do. I think, and you know, and I'm going to try to find out a little bit about this. You asked about this a couple of weeks ago. I would like to try to find out what we think our time frame is for building another high school. I know we just got Green Hill. I know we just got Green Hill open, but I mean, so this is its second year, right? And so there has to be a time frame for when we'll be building another one. And so really we're looking a lot like Rutherford County maybe 10 to 15 years ago. You know, do you remember? I mean, you've lived here, you're a lifelong lifer, you're a military lifer, but I mean, it hasn't been that long ago when it was Riverdale, Oakland, and Riverdale and Oakland. That was it. Over there in Rutherford County.
Mount Juliet, Lebanon. That's it.
Yeah, right. Watertown. And so, I mean, and you look over there, I remember when Blackman was built. As a matter of fact, you know, cool connection with us. Bobby Wells, Coach Walter Wells' brother, was the coach over there at Blackman for a little while. And was he the head coach? I think he was.
He was head coach.
Yeah, Blackman. And so, and now we got all those other schools over there. I remember when Siegel was built, and so
it's not going to stop.
It's not going to stop. What we're seeing right now is the city of Lebanon has voted on basically an impact fee, and what that is designed to do is to slow down growth a little bit, but make growth pay for itself some.
Yeah.
But really, to be honest with you, people, it's just going to add to the price of homes. Because
I get that. Well, they should charge you an impact fee every time you leave Taco Bell. Hey, let's take a break. We'll come back. Celebrity birthdays. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm proud of you, man. Did you do good last week or you get beat? I don't remember what it was.
I won last week. I won the last 2 weeks, I think.
Congratulations. All right. We'll see how you do. All right. We'll come back with celebrity birthdays with the Inside Scoop with GOOOSEBY next here. Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time. Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now?
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. We got the triple box going on. We got the intern. We got Gooseby for celebrity birthdays. Intern, you there?
I am, yes, and I'm not going to get beat today.
Gooseby, you good?
I'm good.
Question: why is this segment so popular? Do you think?
I don't know. I think it's definitely a big part of when I come in at the end there. But I don't know. It's fans to decide.
I got a friend that watches it because he says we're so terrible. He loves watching it. He says it's a train wreck. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of it too.
Everybody loves train wrecks.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Celebrity birthdays. You're just now joining us. You got to get the birthday within 2 years. All right, first up, former drummer for Kiss, Peter Criss.
Oh, Pete. He is 71.
I'm gonna go 65.
76.
Oh gosh, man, he's almost 80. Guy from Kiss is almost 80. Oh my gosh.
Yep. The guy who did Law and Order and everything else, producer Dick Wolf, TV legend.
83.
I'm gonna go 79.
75.
Ooh.
Oh, one of my favorite groups of all time, the Alan Parsons Project. How old is Alan Parsons?
Alan is 77.
I thought your favorite group was the Backstreet Boys, Joe.
Burn.
68.
73. Perhaps you should lay off the jokes and know your pop culture better.
What is
actor Jonah Hill?
Jonah, 42.
34.
38. You guys split it down the middle. By the way, he and Superbad should have had an Academy Award. He was fantastic.
So funny.
Let's go. Singer Billy Bragg. There you go. How old's Billy Bragg?
Well, I hate to brag, but I do know how old he or she is. 63.
How old?
63.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 67.
63 exactly. Gooseby, dead on.
I don't even know who Billy Bragg is. That's how good I am.
That makes 3 of us. Well done. Okay, singer Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes, not Chris Robinson, the Mount Juliet developer.
No. Yeah, he's the drummer for those. Steve Gorman. He lives in Nashville. Let's see. Chris Robinson is 55.
I'm gonna go 51.
54. Gooseby's up 2-0. Singer, he won American Idol, David Cook. True story. I bumped into him, knocked his drink out of his hands at Rebar on Midtown. He tried to fight me, but thought better about it. True story.
No way.
True story.
He sobered up real quick when he gets all Joe Dubin in his
I
shaft.
was going to have, because he was with his buddies, was talking a little smack. I was going to have, I apologized. I bought him another drink and he wanted to fight me. And I said, all right, let's do this. And then he backed down. True story. True story. David Cook.
He's 48.
I'm going to say he's 43.
38.
Oh, I was going to say.
Intern, stop letting people influence you.
I know it. I'll get better.
Be an influencer. Intern.
Right. All right, singer JoJo, not myself. Singer JoJo.
Oh, JoJo. All my life, what is another like you?
That's it.
That was big when I was in college. Okay, there he is, 52.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a different JoJo female singer. Is it not that? It's a male singer?
You're thinking about
Don't let him influence you. It's
You think about
JoJo, the
Jim
female
Garcia.
singer.
It is, isn't it? Okay, I knew it. All right. Yeah,
What?
she's probably 31.
31 exactly.
Oh, okay. I was confused about her.
Well, you shouldn't be. All right, so that's 3. It's 2-1. We're up against the break here. We got to say goodbye. One more real quick so we can find somebody that's got a birthday today. Hold on. Let's see. Country singer Chris Tyler. Wait. Back up. How about this? Actor Tommy Cole from the Mickey Mouse Club. Tommy Cole, Mickey Mouse Club.
81.
I'll do 53.
80. Good job, Goolsby. You win 3-1.
Whatever.
We're going to have a tournament one week with everybody. Come on and do this. Good job, Goolsby.
Thanks.
We'll see you next Monday.
See you, man.
All right. Merry Christmas. Intern.
3 weeks in a row, man. I'm getting.
Well, I'm disappointed that you're letting somebody like Goolsby influence you.
You're right. I need to be my own man.
All right. Well, I'll see you at the after show meeting here, okay?
All right, man.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks, Kelly Culbreth, to talk about her book, Everything Poops on the Farm. We'll the intern will get that segment out on our YouTube channel in a little bit. So a great children's book that she's written there. So thankful for her. Terry McCormick as well. All the folks who showed up at the Santa Paws-adopt-athon this weekend. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. And to the 11 puppy dogs that have new homes, run forever, my friends, at your new places. That's fantastic. Again, we leave you with this every morning. Be nice to people. Open doors, smile at people in traffic. Remember, nobody cares about your CrossFit workout unless you're doing it for charity. And as always, nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.